What's going on, people? I hope you're all doing well out there. My name is Aaron, and welcome to UX Crypto. I hope all of you are, doing fantastic out there. So, if you've clicked on this video today, and obviously, if you're not my subscribers, then you are probably here to try and find out can we get to the top of the market, and is there any strategies we can use to actually make that happen? And I'm here today to try and break that all down for you. Obviously, whether you are early in crypto or you're new here, whether you're an OG, it's all going to be different for everybody, right? So that's what I'm going to break it down. And yeah, I'm going to show you some really cool charts today, some interesting stuff. Maybe not individual coins today, but overall strategy. I feel like this is something that a lot of people need to hear. I heard this back in my time in crypto. I've been in crypto since 2016, and it kind of changed my perspective on the way I thought of things, right? So hopefully I can share that with you today. So let's go straight in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this right here is literally a cheat sheet, right? Which has been around since 1875, right? So it's very, very old, right? And I actually got this from a really good YouTuber a while ago. And let me quickly show you who that was. So it was Alessio right here. So maybe you guys have heard this guy. Maybe you haven't. If you haven't, you should definitely check his channel out. He's a YouTuber as well, a really good TA guy. And he actually brought this to my attention when I was watching one of his videos, and I've never forgotten it. All right. And I'm here to show you exactly how you can use it. All right. So this right here. So periods when to make money, right? So obviously I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, but I'm just giving you the stuff that I know. And so what are these things right here? And what are these things right here? So if you were to look at these dates right here, this is when markets top out. Okay. So this is when you want to ride the wave upwards. So for example, this line right here, way back then, you wanted to ride this up. And the same as when it goes down, you want to ride this one up as well. All right. And there might be a top there, and then the markets go down. All right. And this is when you might want to be accumulating everything. And we can actually go and have a little look at recent times. Right. So, for example, we are around about here, right? So 2023, and lo and behold, we are at a really low point right there. If you can see that, 2023, bit pixelated, but I think you get the picture. And look at what we need to do. We need to ride this wave right here, and it ends in 2026. Okay, so that also lines up with the bull market, right? 2025, 2026. So the end of 2025, a lot of people expect a top to be in for Bitcoin, right? So that lines up with the crypto markets. This also, you can backdate this in history, which I've actually kind of done, right? So it's 1 or 2 years off, but pretty precise, right? So let me quickly show you that. So I've marked those on here, okay? And this is a yearly chart this is the S&P 500. And you can actually look at these dates. So for example, this is 2016, right? And just the year before, that's 2015, and we've gone up since then from that point. And then, for example, this is 2007. So 2008 was the crash, right? So if we zoom into that real quick, look, 2007 we were good. 2008, this is 2008. Bam. All right. And lo and behold, if we go back to my sheet right here, or mine, you can actually kind of see that, right? So 2007 upwards, right? Straight after that, down. All right. So literally you can see where that is lining up, and it's pretty precise. So if you want to have an overview of the market on where you should be potentially in bags, or potentially doubling down and investing and stuff like that, not financial advice, you can kind of use this sheet right here, can't you? As in you can literally use this to time things. And that is why I have a lot of conviction to what is going to happen. Obviously not just where we are with the crypto cycle, that I'll go through that as well, but with the long-term perspective. But what assets maybe you might want to be in, it also comes down to risk tolerance. Okay, so if I'm going to go and look at the charts real quick, so this is Bitcoin chart, right? Obviously this is the overview of Bitcoin, and we can see where we are today. This is a monthly chart, just to give you some perspective. And yeah, so obviously we're currently at a price of 43,000 right here. So that's pretty nice. All right. And on my channel, I was actually getting into crypto right here. So I've already 3x from where I was. And if you want to be part of all that, you're doing the Patreon, but I'll show you all of that stuff at the end if you want to potentially level up inside of there to how to do these things. But where is the potential growth and where are we going? All right. So for example, on that sheet I showed you a minute ago, the little cheat sheet in the beginning, 2026 or end of 2025 is going to be a good time, right? And just from my projections, right, we're looking down here, 2025, 2026, it's around here, right? So let's just go for this, right? This line right here. So that means if we was to go and hit this line right here, like a resistance line, then I'll show you what that is. And we will probably get to around, from the Bitcoin standard, around about, look, 142,000. There you go. So, that's pretty cool, right? 140K, all right? From where we are right now at 40K. So that's like, what, 3x your money, basically, from that point. But, what is this line? Why am I taking it so seriously? So, for example, it's a resistance line, right? So you can see all of the tops, right, we've had since Bitcoin's began, all the way down here, right? And you can literally see where it's topped out, where it's topped out, and where it has topped out. So, maybe we might go a lot further. We might. But this is going to be something which is very, very big to contend with, all right, around those times. So you could ride a 3x all the way up, right? So my thing is, though, right, what would you want to be in? Would you want to be in Bitcoin to get 3x, or would you want to get into other coins? And this is where risk and reward comes in. So let me show you my little thing that I've come up with to elaborate on all of this fun stuff. So, okay, so if you was in Bitcoin, right, then obviously you could expect maybe, all right, not obviously there's no financial advice out here, all right, but you could expect that maybe a 3x is possible, right? If you used to get to 140K, right, then, if you invested right now, you could see potentially that. And in terms of the risk side, it's a lower risk in terms of maybe getting into different plays. And it all comes down to the, how much capital you might have, and you might want to be able to, ride that wave, or maybe want to be a bit more risky, right? So that's something to consider, right? And that also brings me down to, coin market cap and looking at stuff like that, right? So on coin market cap, obviously number one is Bitcoin, right? You can see that it's always been number one anyway, right? And we have 857 billion inside of that, right? So obviously we need a lot more money to come in there, and we have a couple of catalysts. We have the halving, we have Bitcoin ETFs, and yeah, I'm sure that will obviously come in, right? But then you want to apply a bit more risk. You go further down, right? Further down the list, and obviously you've got a top 10 now, and that brings me to a little bit more risk, which might be Cardano, all right? And obviously there's other ones you could put into the risk play of what that might be. Everyone has their own opinions. But yeah, so for example, bringing you to a top 10 coin and potential gains of maybe a 15x, right? I'm not saying it is, don't quote me and all this, is all these types of stuff. But for example, you're applying more risk and more risk reward, right? There's no guarantees in this market, but it could be where you're looking. So in terms of, that, where would that leave you? And, you have to weigh that into your risk, which I will show you in a minute, how you kind of weigh that all in. And then the next one would be, a top 50 coin, or I think it's a top 30 coin, right? So if I go next, the top 50 coin, right? Then we go for Render, for example. This is just a coin. I'm not saying that you should go into Render. I'm just giving you an idea, right? So for example, if we go into a top 50, this is top 50, go into coin market cap, and then Render coin is 47, so round about 50. Okay, so 47, and obviously you're taking on more risk by going down into this road, because it's not so big of a user case. For example, in crypto, it's more AI related, for example, so you're niching. And then you've got a market cap of 1,600,000, so the opportunity is there to potentially get more market cap inside of it, but the risk is there as well, because you're taking on more risk. Okay, so then after that, we have a top 100 coin, right? So for example, this example is ApeCoin. I'm not saying you should get ApeCoin. What I'm saying to you is the potential gains of what you might be able to achieve, right? But obviously doing that again, right? We'll go back into the top 100. I'm trying to see where ApeCoin is real quick. So ApeCoin is a 94, okay? And obviously just bear in mind, these will change all the time. And that's a 600 million market cap, all right? So obviously, could ApeCoin get a lot more market cap inside of it? Potentially, right? Maybe, okay? So you're obviously applying more risk, and that is what I'm trying to show you today. So I'm not saying it will 50x. It's just an example of how you can evaluate your risk with your portfolios, right? So that's the top 100 coin. And then you might want to get a bit more degen, right? And then, for example, this is Nakamoto Games, and it is in a top 100 to 400 coin, right? So if I quickly go back to coin market cap, I think it's on the second page or the third page. Let's have a little look where Nakamoto Games is. It's somewhere around here, but we're going further down, as you can see, right? We're getting into darker territories, right? We're going into the crypto realms that you might be worried about. So, for example, where is this bad boy? Can't even find it, right? But I think it's, there you go, 289. Okay, so 289 coin, and then in terms of the market cap, look, 138 million. Okay, sorry about that. And this is just showing you that if that picks up, then obviously you could get billions coming into this coin, and potentially that's where a lot of the gains could be made, right? But all of that being said, right, it's all a risk. Okay, so I know it's niche because it's gaming, right? So obviously you're niching. It's not in crypto. Obviously, you've got like the blockchains, the L1s, and all this, and that's where a lot of the money goes. So by going into certain demographics, you are obviously taking a bit more of a risk by niching, right? But that's fine, as in be around for that risk. And then obviously where are we going next? We're going into higher risk. We're going into the top 400, top 100 coins, and maybe you're looking at potentially a 400x to a 1000x, right? So this is where absolute crazy gains could be had. And I've put a question mark right here because there's no Pacific coins right here. But if you are looking for Pacific coins to get in here, then join the Patreon and you can definitely find those, and I will show you the cheat sheet and all I have, and you literally can find these bad boys, right? And another thing to point out is a long-term perspective with this as well, is which I'll actually go through in the end. But some of you, what I've been hearing in the market, are basically getting like a 5x and then you're selling all your bag, and then afterwards you're regretting it because you didn't stay around for the potential of a 400 or 100x or something like that. You kind of sold early, and that is like you hear this story a lot. So I'm just going to show you how, and maybe have a perspective on that. And you know what, just real quick actually, is for example, going back up, is this, man. So the whole thing of this is we are right here, okay? We're at the bottom, right? And you make your 5 little X, that's fantastic, right? But you are not going to experience this whole run, okay? So be patient, okay? It's a marathon, it's not a race. And obviously, if you're trying to get big gains out here, big gains are not made by within a month or something like that. That's not how it's made. It's made over a period of time, and that is how potentially you can get all the things that you might desire, right? But if we're going to go back as well and show you about risk and reward, then we're going to zoom out all the way, all right, and show you this now. So for example, risk and reward. So I've made this little chart up for you guys, and it just shows you that lower risk, for example, down here, and you could 3x. But why would you want to care about this, for example, right? And why would you want to care about high risk? And it all comes down to your capital. All right, some of you guys might be coming in new to crypto. Let's say you have $1,000 to your name, right? Let's say you have 300k to your name. It all depends, right? But for example, if you already have, like, let's say about 300k or something like that, and you already have some crypto or whatever it is, you might just want to stay in Bitcoin, right? Because you'll be like, okay, I can 3x inside of Bitcoin, and then my 3x will turn into 1.2 million, right? Whether that 1.2 million is enough for you, that's another story, right? To your lifestyle, all these different things. But 300k might be able to turn into that. So less risk as well because it's got more going for it. But then the same thing goes for ADA, right? So ADA, Cardano, you could potentially maybe get a 15x right now. It's at 60 cents right now. If we was to obviously get, let's say, $9, I'm not saying we will, but let's say we did, that's a 15x. All right. So if you had 80k inside of that, 1.2 million. All right. So I'm just showing you how potentially this could all go down, and obviously applying risk inside of this. And yeah, you might want to, for example, with Render, put 40k in and create 1.2 million, or ApeCoin, a 50x potential, have 24k in that, 1.2 million. We're getting to the same result, but a different way, right? And this is why you want to weigh that up. So if you're very new and you don't have a lot of capital, for example, taking high risks obviously is very risky, as an but you might want to consider that. but everyone's position is different. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. Other things as well are, are you gonna hold a whole bunch of different coins, right? So I would definitely advise, me personally, not financial advice, but I would advise to hold a bunch of different coins, because this is where risk and reward comes in. All right. So some of these coins, especially around here, all right, are gonna go to absolute zero. Okay. Some of them will. Okay. I've been in crypto for 2016, seen a lot of bull market, bear markets, and some of these ones will go to zero. All right. And but we want to be around for the ones that have good potential. So that is where, you have to really sift through, do your research, and find out what potentially could be really, really good, right? And that is where my cheat sheet actually comes in, and I'll give you a little bit of an overview of that as well. But just before I do, all right, I'm going to read out some of your questions and see how you guys are getting on out here, right? So yeah. So we got Cash Cats in the house. How are you doing, brother? Hope you're all good. It's good to see you. And yeah, and also I've got a shout out Liliana. I think you're saying your name right. But yeah, thanks for supporting me. I always see you in here. Thanks for joining. And then we've got you Day. Hi, bro. How will what's this RB pad do in the future? I'm not too sure. I have to check that out. Thanks for suggesting it. And yeah, Aaron, thanks for sharing your alpha. No worries, man. Literally, we are all in the same position. We're all trying to do well in this market, right? So at the end of the day, I feel like it's my duty to help everybody. I have quite a good knowledge of UX and product design. And I feel like, you can apply it to crypto quite well. So it's very important to share what I'm thinking. And, I'm thankful that all you guys as well leave comments and, you suggest great projects that we can all look into. And it's a community at the end of the day, right? We all want to do well. So, that's how we stay. And yeah, let's have a look. So it says the simple risk/reward ratio example I've ever seen. Cheers. Okay, I think you said never seen. All right, cool. Yeah, I literally just made that like half an hour before this. All right, so I'm just trying to weigh it up in my head and how to visualize that. Right. But obviously, yeah, more coins that you could divide that all into different coins, right? Obviously, if you're putting like 20k into like a coin, which could potentially 50x, that's quite risky, right? It's very risky. So it would all be weighing it up to risk and the quality of these projects, right? And on that note of quality of projects and being able to do that, I'll quickly show you how you might be able to find that and why you might want to join the Patreon. All right. So yeah, let me quickly show you my little strategy. Introducing the Moneyball cheat sheet. So how does it work?
Step 1.
You have to find the potential coins by keeping your ears to the streets, digging deep into the crypto realms, find those diamonds in the rough. After that, I add the coins to my system, which I currently have over 70 coins already reviewed, and it's growing, which brings me to
Step 2.
I review each coin with 7 different criteria, and they are teams and advisors, the partners, the idea, the website, the product, the social media presence, and the coin utility. I then proceed to give these coins a specific grading criteria from 1 to 10. Then we combine the scores to get an overall ranking for them, and that lets us separate the good from the bad, the weak from the strong, giving us the best possible chance to get some good coins in the up and coming bull run. And I didn't stop there. No.
Step 3.
Price projections. So you can get my price projections for each and every single coin. I give you 2 price projections, one bullish target and one super bullish target. And this is using data from the last bull run to be able to project where we think some of these coins might go. So there you have it, man. Someone's asked me a question related to this. So what would be your best risk/reward projects that you recommend to get maybe 25x, right? And you just saw that in the trailer, but I'll show you certain things that you should consider and why you should join the Patreon. All right. So let me show you the screen. One sec. Okay, so this is actually my cheat sheet, what you just saw in the trailer, right? As in, you can't see any of the scores, but these scores, you can actually define what is a potential 25x or 50, 100, 1,000 X's, right? So, for example, I've got over 104 coins, all reviewed fully with exactly the system that I showed you. And, it's growing. I'm adding every day. And yeah, so there's lots and lots of coins. Some of these coins here are good. Some of them are bad. So, the scoring system helps us define that, right? and I have a rule system that you can see down here and how I break that all down. And you know, I have an area where it's to be reviewed. So that is literally all the coins I've been hearing about or looking at, and you know, they'll be here first before I go into massive in-depth research time, right? And also in different categories, right? So we've got all these different categories down here that you can see, and yeah, literally this is how it was breaking down. And the way that you can find these early, for example, is I have got different coins at different market caps. So for example, if you're under a 5 million market cap as a project, you can find it inside of AI, for example, right? And then we've got also ones that are over, so like over 5 million to 10 million. You can find opportunities there. And also you've got ones that are like around the 30 million mark, right? And I have top 10s in all of them. So literally, if you find ones that are in the top 10, it's all ranked for you and you can get the fundamentals. So it's all about fundamental investing. And the reason, right, we want to care about fundamental investing is I go back to the diagram, okay? So the diagram is here. Why are you in this? Why are you in this? Oh, God. You're in this for long term, okay? You're not in this for 1 month or anything like that. You are literally here to ride this area. This is where we're at, okay? This area, we're here to ride it. So we need to have good fundamental coins, all right? And, you know, you need to be able to accumulate these coins to hold them, not to just be like, okay, this meme coin's pumping. Oh, let me get in on it. As in, yeah, you can do that, but you might also lose your ass. And, you know, just from my experiences, you know, some meme coins you might do well, but a lot of the time you're going to be the liquidity for the big ass whale what holds most of those meme coins, right? So yeah, I would say be careful out there and look for fundamentally strong projects. Basically, any YouTuber, crypto YouTuber will tell you this, but it just so happens I've got a bloody cheat sheet for it, okay? But yeah, but what else can we talk about with this, right? So for example, with the oh yeah, sorry. Let me talk about the actual Patreon and show you what you get. I don't want to, you know, not do that. So, for example, we've got see at the top. You can join the Patreon, and currently, you know, we've only got 20 spaces left, and it's selling out quite quick. So 30 is gone in this last month. And yeah, we've got about 50 people overall inside the community. Really good chats inside of here. So we've actually got a Discord group where everyone chats in. And yeah, you can get buy signals. So you can also, oh, when I buy, you know, I'm letting you know. It's up to you when I do that information, not a financial advisor or anything, but you know, I'm letting you know when I'm getting into projects earlier. You can track my portfolio to see exactly how I'm playing the market. So obviously going back to what I showed you before with the breakdown, this, God, yeah, with this, right? Basically, how am I allocating to this, right? So obviously, if I have a certain amount of money, then obviously you can see how I might be allocating my portfolio with this risk right here, okay? So that is the benefit of being able to see somebody else's portfolio, like how are they allocating, right? So that's this right here. And yeah, obviously the cheat sheet, what you saw from that little video is here, okay? So that's what you need business class tier to get that. So yeah, hopefully I'll see all of you inside of there, okay? And yeah, so Will right here, you just put a comment, let's have a little look. So he's like, I'm glad you don't mess with meme coins. Yeah, I don't mess with meme coins, man. You know why? Because there's no fundamentals, man. And you know, at the end of the day, it's in the word investing, right? You're investing for potential future or potential gains out of something, right? Obviously not financial advice. But with meme coins, where's the investment, right? It's literally just money flow, liquidity going into one thing and going higher, right? Which is a big risk. There's nothing you're basing off that, right? As in, other than maybe, I don't know, Elon Musk bought it and obviously you're basing your decisions off that. But in which case, you know, is that smart money? I don't think so. All right. So I think long game always wins. If you ask like any of these other crypto YouTubers how they made a lot of gains in it, it's near enough most of the time by holding good projects, right? It's not going to be, oh, I flip this thing and I flip that thing. Like, you know, that's day trading. Day trading is risky. 90% of people lose in day trading, right? So there's a reason for that. I mean, we tend to overcomplicate things in our head a lot. And I just think, you know, we don't need to. We really don't. Like fundamentals are going to be strong. And in the stage of the market we're at right now, you know, there's lots of gains to go around, right? So, and actually, yeah, let's talk about that real quick, right? So, for example, if we are going to go to coin market cap real quick, okay, so let's just go to like Cardano as a really good example of how things run around in crypto. Okay, so for example, I like to use it as a good reference point because it's quite interesting, right? So when I got into crypto, all right, I was like around these times, okay, so pretty early on, okay, and then we saw a big bull market, all right, and that was like 2018 it topped out. You can see right there, got to around $1, okay, and then everything died. All right, that's the way it goes in crypto, right? And then we got to $3, okay, and saw absolute crazy parabolic gains, and then obviously we've kind of died again, and things are starting to come back. But what my point is right now is, where do you think we are in the market? Okay, so a lot of these people, they're selling early and they're like, oh, I got 5x, I'm great, or whatever. They flip into something else. But if you were in a fundamentally strong project, like, wouldn't it be better to hold it? Like, for example, right? Maybe you can flip some gains out, okay, but overall, you want to still have your bags packed, right? So if we were to go back and where we are, I would probably say we are like here, right? That's where we are if we're going back. Okay, so you might have experienced, ADA go from, let's say, 3 cents, right? Maybe to like 14 cents. And that was that like, that's like what, 6x, right? And you'd be like, oh my God, I got a 6x, fantastic, right? But you missed out on this bad boy, all right? You missed out, okay? So, everyone has a fear of missing out. And it's kind of like, that's what I'm trying to say to you, like, experience the long-term gain and be around for it, hold on for dear life, hodl, all right? And that's how you can do this, right? And I don't want to keep repeating myself, but that is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to hodl from here to here, all right? It's pretty simple. Just hold them bags, man. Get a good strategy and you'll be good. So yeah, don't overcomplicate it and you'll be happy days, all right? So yeah, we've got another comment here. So 2024 bull run crypto coins top 10 list. I mean, yeah, if you want to see that, then you got to get the cheat sheet, man. As in, I'm giving you the alpha in there, and it is I've got literally a year's worth of research. I do a lot of in-depth research. So if you ever check my channel out, you can see all the other videos I've got. You're going to see how in-depth we go with research, right? This is a research-led channel. So yeah. But what else we got? If you don't actually know where the theory of Moneyball came from, right? I'll drop a little real clip I made real quick, and it will just give you an overview of how the Moneyball strategy came about, okay? And it comes from a baseball team, which is really, really cool. So yeah, let me quickly show you that. So this is Billy Bean. He faces a hard challenge because he's trying to grow a baseball team and he doesn't have a lot of money.
There are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap.
So then his general manager sets him a really hard challenge.
Find players with the money that we do have.
So this being a hard task, because how are you supposed to get really good players on a limited budget? Then he meets a guy who changes the whole way of thinking about acquiring players.
Who are you?
I'm Peter Brand.
Peter then shows Billy, Brad Pitt, his secret strategy that can find undervalued players but for a great price.
I believe there's a championship team that we can afford because everyone else undervalues them.
He uses a data-driven approach to pick the diamonds in the rough.
Card counters at the blackjack table. We're going to turn the odds on the casino.
And change the odds he does because he changes history and wins 20 games in a row.
It defies everything we know about baseball.
So there you go. That is literally where the strategy come from. And yeah, this strategy has actually worked in the last bull market, obviously, for a lot of different people. So there's a guy called Ian Bellina, and he actually utilized this strategy and he turned 20K into 5 million. All right. So, I'm not the inventor of this strategy, nor is he. It's come from here. Okay. But using it can be very, very good. And obviously looking for fundamentals first. So that is my point. If you want to get that, link in the description. Let me not cover my face. Link in the description to get that cheat sheet if you want it. But also, leave comments. Let me know what you're thinking about different projects. And obviously, we're trying to find all these really good gems together. I find quite good ones myself. You also do. So give yourself some credit as a community. All right. And yeah, the mission is to try and get to the top together. Right. And if you're new around here, give this video a lovely little like and subscribe, man. Subscribe for the ride. There's a lot of alpha I'm sharing on YouTube as well, not just the Patreon. So, you can get a lot of alpha. All right. But yeah, just before I go, I'll try and read some of your comments. So we got Cypriel on the house, man. How you doing, Cypriel? So Cypriel's another YouTuber, really good guy. You should definitely check his channel out. And yeah, thanks. Pump up the likes, guys. And yeah, hopefully very soon we can do another video together, man. That would be really cool. So good to have you. But yeah, on that note, man, I'm gonna have to bounce, man. I've got a lot of research to do and find these gems for you. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go. So I'll see you at the top if I don't see you. Peace.